where he is now, speaking not of himself, but he's speaking of the church. Then that's where we come in, because we are not the Jews. We never waited for the Messiah because we were pagans. We were dogs outside the kingdom. We were just Gentiles. Sasingabezizwe. So because it was never for you anyway. So if you go and you say the law was never for you. It was beyond your jurisdiction, like it was beyond you, it was beyond your comprehension, it's like you were a foreigner to law. Noma ngabe ukuyithanda kangakanani law iyona elizoxosha ukuthi you don't belong here. It was only through grace that we were brought to God, no longer as dogs, but as people. So, the law was for the Jews. And when Jesus says, I came to do away with law, we don't apply to that. Because we were never under law. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Whenever somebody says, obey the law, ask them, whose law is it? It's not the law of God, it's the law of Moses to the Hebrews, not to us. The Bible never said the law of God, it said the law of Moses. Meaning it was the law that applied to everybody who was under the leadership of Moses.
Amen.
So if you were not under the leadership of Moses, forget about law, it was never yours. And abantu bayathanda ke ukuthanda baze bayifake entweni that was never designed for them. As a result, they die without understanding it because it was never meant for them. Can you imagine finding a nose running around training to run the marathon? It will die without doing anything because it was not designed for running. It was designed for smelling. So no matter how much it can try, it will never be able to run because it was not designed for that. So, in law, Africans and law never, ever had any kind of association. They never even, association is good. They were never even acquaintances. They never met. Gentiles and law are total strangers. When they meet, they have to say, who are you and who are you? Because they never met. The law was for the Jews. And when Jesus came, he came to abolish law in the Jew community, not to us. As a result, kunezinto eziningi eBhayibhelini that are for Jews, that are customs for Jews. Unfortunately, our culture as Africa, as adopt lezo zinto as if it's African, whereas it was for the Jews. Amongst those things, I'm the teacher. So I'm going to speak it. Come back next week. I'm going to hit it again. I'm going to hit the truth 101 until somebody is aligned with the pure doctrine. Sazi ukuthi culture and doctrine ne Christianity akuhlangana. And the culture noNkulunkulu akuhlangana. Culture is a continuous light pattern of man. That is culture. It's a continuous light pattern of man. Uma ngenze into ingane yami uyayithanda izoyenza, ingane yayo izoyenza, gcine sekuyiculture yaka Mtshali, whereas it was something I started. That is culture. So, abantu abaningi bayathanda ukuthi we are the seed of Abraham. Ngalokho they include even ibandla laseGalatia. They thought ukuthi circumcision is some kind of a high life, whereas it was for the Jews, right? And uJesu naye ufike wazoyiabolisha leyo, because Magabala uPaul uthi, I am a Hebrew from the tribe of Benjamin. And he says, on the 8th day I was circumcised according to the law of Abraham, all right? And according to the culture of Israel. So it was an Israeli culture ukuthi circumcision was part of the covenant. They had to spill the blood to seal the covenant. And it was Jesus Christ. It was, forgive me, it was part of it was part of God preserving the seed. Abraham throughout the generations in a covenant. There was nothing special about it except ukuthi bonke abaga Israel, they were blessed according to that covenant of the blood. Amen. But Africans never ever were instructed to partake on that. It was just something that for health-wise it's good. For the sake of health, it's good. But not for the sake of being in line with God. Hello, church.
Amen.
According to God, manhood has got nothing to do with circumcision.